pick me up, brother. First off, I got to read you a letter from the president of the Lake Gaston Association, Scooter. Good morning. It said good evening. It's good morning. Good morning, membership. My name is Drew Goodwin. I am the president of Lake Gaston Water Safety Council. Thank you all for being here today and for your continued commitment to making Lake Gaston a place we're proud to share and enjoy. About a year ago, we came together to talk about something that we effectively signaled one of its courtesy on the lake, or courtesy on the water. Today isn't about starting the conversation, it's about continuing it, reflecting on what's been improved and being honest about where we will still need to be better and improve. Over the past year, many boaters and power boat operators have made a noticeable effort. That's seen more mindful boating, better awareness around docks, swimmers, kayaks, canoes, and paddleboards. He's got my whole presentation in here, I'll tell you that. Since the people looking for one another, that's what matters. It makes the water safer, more endurable, and more welcoming to residents and visitors alike. But there is still much work to be done to continue education boaters and lake public. Accidents, injuries, and fatalities have dropped, but every incident matters. Let's not pretend that the work is finished. It's never finished. We need to continually improve awareness. We still hear concerns, boats passing too close to docks at high speed, excessive wake at no wake zones, extreme wake in small coves, extremely loud music that carries far beyond a single cove, and moments where patience seems to run short. None of these issues come from bad intentions. Most of the time, they come from intention, assumption, and simply not thinking about how others are affected. Courtesy on the water isn't complicated, but it does require consistency, awareness, thought, and respect for others. It means slowing down when you're in a near shoreline, docks, or small vessels. It means being aware of weight and impact it has on the shore and properties. It means remembering that everyone out there, whether they're fishing, kayaking, swimming, or cruising, has the same rights as everyone else. One of the most important things that you can do moving forward is to lead by example. Rules and enforcements have their place, but culture is what really shapes behavior. Looking ahead in this season, our goal is simple. Build on the programs we've made, not perfectly, but steadily. If each of us commits to just a little more awareness, a little more patience, and a little more consideration, the collective impact is significant. That's how we protect not just the lake itself, but experience of being at the lake. Lake Gaston is shared space. Its value isn't just in the water, but in the community around it. Courtesy is what connects those two things. Thank you for your time, your effort, and your willingness to keep improving. Let's make this coming year even better than last. In case anybody didn't know, we have our new Lake Gaston Water Safety Council applications. They're on the table back there. They got all our current addresses, email, Facebook, all that information is on that back there. So if you are a member, you can pick one of them up. It's got a lot of good information on it. If you're not a member, please pick it up. It's $10 a year for a family, $5 a year for an individual. With that, I'm a helicopter pilot, okay? So I might hover a little bit. Just want to let you know. It's easy. They teach monkeys to fly helicopters. Not saying I'm a monkey. Here's our agenda for today. Understanding boating etiquette, safe navigation right-of-way, consideration for other lake users, environmental stewardship and cleanliness, and emergency preparedness and helping others. Is that good, Mike? That all look good? I did have Scooter critique this. He reviewed from my slides when we were at our meeting the other night, and I made some changes, so hopefully he's happy with what I did. Understanding lake etiquette. Why courtesy matters. Safer, smoother sharing. More etiquette reduces accidents and preventable conflicts between lake users. A better experience for everybody. Respectful behavior. You ever see people riding down the lake and you pass a boat and everybody waves? Why do they do that? Because they're on the lake. They're sharing an experience. They're sharing on being on the lake together. Hey, how you doing? I see you on the lake. Hey, I'm on the lake too. See you. Have a good day. That's just being courtesy. That's just being neighborly. However you want to call it. I'm old age. So I'll bring back stuff when I was a kid. Good neighbors. Big thing is being aware of swimmers, kayakers, paddleboarders, fishermen. If I'm out there fishing in my fishing boat and I'm sitting up on that little chair and I'm out there throwing my hook out and stuff, and you come flying by in your wake boat or my boat, it's a 19-foot jet boat, but it puts out a pretty good wake when you got 6 people in it, and you come flying by them and you don't slow down or go way around them to get away from them, you're going to rock their boat. You might even knock the guy out of his chair. So just be courteous. If you see him, just like when you're on the highway, pull over when you see an emergency vehicle, go way around them. It's a law now too, by the way, for the law enforcement guys on the lake. If you see a blue light, caution light, or a red light, you need to get away from it or slow down way slow beside it. Courtesy builds cooperation. Small actions, yielding, waving, giving space, create a shared culture. Basic etiquette. Safe speed. When you're close to the shore, when you're close to boat docks, when you're close to swimmers, like I just said, slow down. If you don't want to slow down, get far away from them. Go out in the middle of the lake. This lake is 36 miles long and it's a big lake. Respect their personal space. If I got grandkids sitting at the dock, jumping off into the water right there by my dock, and you come 50 feet or 100 feet out, which is what the law requires, and you're close to my dock, and you're flying with a wake boat, and you're pulling a tube of screamers, and you turn, that tube could come out closer than 100 feet to my dock. Just be courteous. Stay away from the docks when people are swimming and stuff. Stay out in the middle of the lake.
We have questions, or do you wait till the end?
Wait till the end.
Okay.
Clear communication. Use signals. Horns and hand gestures indicate intentions to prevent misunderstanding. If you're going down the lake and you're coming to a boat and 3 or 4 boats are coming this way and you're going this way, just let them know I'm going this way or I'm going this way, or slow down and just watch what they do and then make your move. Just be courteous. Watch what others are doing. Yield the right of way. When you're coming up behind another boat, don't come up real tight behind them. Don't come up close to them and go flying right by them. Swing out, go around them, because they might not know you're back there. Blow your horn. Do something to let them know you're coming around them. If they're going down the lake, if they're pulling tubers and stuff, you need to be far away from them in case somebody falls off the tube. That way you don't want to hit somebody. Just yield the right of way, and you know what the rules are. Right, Coast Guard? Been to their class, right? If you hadn't been to their class, you need to go. Right up here at Wrong Bridge, Fire Department. These guys put on a great show. Debbie does a good job. John does a good job. Yeah. And she feeds you good too. So when I went to that, me and my wife both went to it. And I already had my certificate online, but I didn't. I went to their class because it was real good and I wanted to get more information. Rules for passing and overtaking. Assess the situation, like I was just talking about. Signal your intentions, whether it's blowing a horn or whatever. Who remembers driver's education when you're in high school, getting ready to start driving? What's the first thing they tell you when you go around to pass somebody? Blow your horn. Who does that nowadays? I don't ever hear anybody pass me blowing a horn. What's the deal? You didn't learn that? You were 16 years old. You should have learned it and remembered it. But guess what? Same thing pertains in a boat. If you're going to pass somebody, they're not looking back at you and they're just driving down the lake, they don't know you're coming. They could turn. You don't know if they're going to turn. Pull. It happens all the time in traffic. Ask a motorcycle rider. Me. People will pull in front of you. You'll be coming down. They'll turn right in front of you to go if they want to go to the left. So just be courteous. Give signals of your intention. Maintain a safe distance. How many times have you seen a jet ski on the lake come flying up behind the boat because you got a big weight and they want to jump it? Get some air, baby. Going to have a good time today. Yeah, you're going to have a good time until you get hurt or somebody gets hurt. Just make sure they're aware of what you're doing. It's to keep a safe distance. Pass predictably. Overtake smoothly following navigation rules. Coast Guard tells you what all those rules are. And resume your course once you're passed and safe in a safe distance away from the people that you're passing. Dock right away and approach. In a parking lot at Walmart, you're pulled in, this car's pulled in, you're both backing out at the same time, boom. Who's at fault? Really? Police says, it's just a backing accident, you didn't see him or whatever. I've had it happen before. Guess what? The guy that's backing out, if this guy's coming and he's backing out, he has the right of way, even though this guy's already in the flow, because he can't see back there. So just remember, when people come pulling out of the dock or pulling off their boat slip, stay away from them. Don't go up behind them. Don't close to them. Give them plenty of room. And when you see people putting their boat into the boat dock, into their slip, don't go flying by, because you create weight will make their boat bounce around inside that can and bang on the side of their boat dock and stuff. It's just all about courtesy. Slow scan and communicate. Reduce speed near docks. Watch for pedestrians. Pedestrians are paddle boarders, kayakers, swimmers. That's pedestrians in the lake. You can't walk on the water unless you're somebody special. And you know who he was. Orderly docks reduce incidences. Marina operators report that consistent dock etiquette significantly lowers property damage and boating incidents. So when you go into a boat dock, anybody ever been to a Shady Shack? Guess what? There's a ton of boats out there wanting to get them little bitty parking spots, and they want to get some gas. Well, take your time, stay away from the dock while the people are in there moving around, and then take your turn when it's your turn to go in there. Just give the people time to do what they're doing, get their gas. When they pull off, you can pull in and get your gas. If you want to go in there and eat, wait till somebody comes out. When they back out of the slip, you slide in there. Make sure there's nobody else already sitting there waiting to get in there, because if there are, then you're going to be fighting over a parking space. Same thing as a parking lot. You ever seen that? I've seen people shot for that. You got my parking spot. Bang. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Respecting no-wake zones. There's a lot of no-wake zones in this lake, and there's a couple of places that need to be no-wake zones, especially if you go down Poplar Creek. I know they're trying to get that to happen. Probably won't happen, because there's too many people that don't want it, because they don't want to go putt all the way that mile and a half or whatever it is back to Shady Shack. It takes a long time slow. But guess what? Those people that live right there on that little narrow creek and all those curves, they don't want you to come flying through there. And I see big boat, jet skis especially, but big boats coming through there, it's like trying to go in the Outer Banks or something. It's bad wakes and stuff. You don't want to be doing that. Just be courteous. When you're in a narrow, Haltree Creek changed it, made it a no-wake zone. The fishermen don't like it, but guess what? It's a lot safer, because those docks aren't that far away. That's a narrow creek in there. The other thing going on right now with the water level like it is, there's a lot of stuff that you can hit now that you didn't hit last week or before the water went down. So when you go up in that end of the lake, I live at mile marker 20. So if you go up in that end of the lake past mile marker 20 and you go to the Granite Hall side of the lake, there's stumps. A neighbor had his motor knocked off his boat. The only thing holding it out drive in was the two pistons that hold it on. The only thing he had left. He'd never been on the lake. I told him before he went on the lake, I said, have somebody go with you that know the lake and can tell you where to go and what not to do. If you leave my boat dock and you go straight across the lake, 8 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 15 feet, 30 feet, 5 feet, 4 feet. How'd that happen? This river on the other side of that ridge was a river. They flooded the lake. It went over that ridge. Now the ridge line's where the duck blinds are, that go up through that area down Granite Hall, is a ridge line. It's only 4 feet deep normally. What is it now? It's down a foot, so it's only 3 feet deep. So if you got something hanging down from your boat or whatever, you might hit something when you cross that ridge line. So just be careful when you're out there. But respecting no-wake zones is key. Whatever the Dominion and the wildlife guys have put up for safety, it's there for a reason. It's there to protect you and have you so you can enjoy and protect your property. Consideration for others on the lake. Sharing lake space. Swimmers, fishermen, paddle boarders, and boaters, other boaters. Some people just like to ride down the lake nice and slow and look at property and talk and have a nice day. My wife loves doing that. Me, go on down the lake, boys. Have a nice day. I want to get to lunch. I'm hungry. Papa Jack don't know how to eat. Anyway, everybody has the right to use the lake. Courtesy on the lake is key. Oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, if you can come up with a design, Wyatt and I have tried to be thinking about this, shaking hand, whatever, come up with a design for a sign or a poster or something of courtesy on the lake. Courtesy is contagious. Whatever you want to come up with, draw it, design it, whatever, especially if somebody's a graphic artist or somebody can draw stuff good. I can't. I'm a stick man kind of drawer. But if you're a good artist or whatever and you can do stuff well, do that for us. Give it to me or Wyatt or Jeff, and they'll get it to us, and we'll put some signs together like we do the life jackets float. People don't. We can do signs like that and post them out there too for about being courtesy on the lake. The guys at Shady Shack, Cooper and his brother, they do a good job. When they sell a boat to somebody, briefing them on safety stuff and courtesy on the boat and give them a nice checklist and all. So those guys know it too. So when you buy a boat from them or buy a boat up here, it used to be the Point, those guys, they give you pamphlets and stuff about being courtesy. Guess what? If I own the boat and I own the house, but I VRBO it, and I'm a renter, and I come in there and I get in the boat, how do I know what I was told when I bought the boat? Because I wasn't there when I bought the boat. So you got to make sure that when you do rent your house or boat or somebody, or loan it, or one of your kids is driving it, make sure they know the rules. That's key to that. They got to understand what the rules are. Minimize noise and disruption. Who has ever been out on the lake and sees a fisherman out there on the lake and you can hear every word he's saying? He's talking junk about his wife and everything else. You say, you probably ought to stop saying that. I can hear you. I'm glad your wife's not sitting here on my boat, Doc. Because sound travels on the lake. So when you're going down the lake in your boat, and your boat's making a lot of noise because it's a boat, and you got those big old speakers on top, so the guy skiing behind your boat can hear it, and you crank it up so he can hear it, and plus so you can hear it over the motor, guess what? Everybody else in the lake can hear it on the shore too. So just make sure you're courteous in that area too. Early in the morning, fishermen come out at 5 o'clock in the morning flying out, that's fine. That doesn't have anything, that doesn't hurt my feelings a bit. But when somebody comes out of Hawtree Creek nice and slow, and as soon as they hit the main lake, they gas it and they crank the music. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock on Sunday morning, guess what? Some people are trying to sleep. I'm not, I'm already up, but it doesn't matter. Just be courteous when you're doing that. When out on the lake, monitoring volume and respecting quiet zones enhances the lake-wide harmony for everyone. Preventing wakes and property damage. Reduce speed when you're near the shore. We already talked about that. Respect no wake zones. We talked about that. Educate and monitor. If you know what you're supposed to be doing and you follow the rules like you do when you're driving your car down the highway, there's no speed limit on the lake. That's fine. There's a speed limit when you're close to the shore. It's called common sense. When you're close to stuff, you slow down. I used to teach people how to dock their boat. Friends call me, I just bought a brand new 26-foot pontoon. I've never driven a boat before. How do I dock it in my boat slip? First off, you don't do it by yourself. You have me come sit with you and tell you what to do. So I got to the guy's house. We sat on his boat. I said, okay, have you ever driven this boat before? Nope. All right, first thing we're going to do is learn how to come in and out of the boat slip. So we let it down into the water. The boat was floating. You could tell it was floating. It was starting to rock a little bit. I didn't touch nothing. I just listened, and I talked to him. I said, okay, crank your motor. Back, put it in reverse, but don't give it a gas. Just put it in reverse. And the boat slowly started backing up. I said, okay, put it in neutral. I said, okay. I said, now, the closer you get to the dock, the slower you go. If you remember that, you're not going to hurt anything. You might bump a little bit or whatever, but it's not going to hurt anything. So he tried it, and kind of went over to one side. I said, okay, stop, back up. Okay, do it again, real slow and easy. Boop, 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 boop. Got right in there, got in the boat slip. He said, that was pretty easy. I said, yeah, back out and do it again. Did it about 3 times. He's been loving it. He's been doing it ever since. Has had no problems. Just have to understand how you do it, and when you're close to something, you slow down. And the Coast Guard jury is really good at that, teaching people how to be courteous on their boat and how to be safe. Property, environmental stewardship and cleanliness. Proper disposal of trash. 50% of the population of the pollution in popular lake regions is likely from boating. Basically, a lot of times it's just stuff that flies out of the boat. Well, if something flies out of your boat and it floats, go get it. Don't just drive down there, oh, it'll be all right, it'll sink. No, it won't. Plastic bottle, water bottle is empty. It's going to sit there and float all over the lake. It's going to end up down at the dam. And them guys down there are going to be collecting all your trash. Pack trash, use pump out stations when you go to the boat ramp. When you pull out of the lake at the boat ramp, you pull up on the boat, put your boat on the trailer, and you pull up on the ramp, guess what? You got Lake Gaston water and whatever else is in Lake Gaston limbia, hydrilla, all that other stuff, in your boat, especially if you're fishing. So when you get up there, you clean your boat out. When you get home, you wash it out before you put it in another lake somewhere else. Because that's how bad vegetation gets into our lake. Somebody brings it from another lake. So make sure you take care of your boat and clean it when you get done, because that's going to reduce the transmission of bad stuff from one lake to another. Protecting wildlife habitat. Please be respectful of buffer zones. Reduce disturbance and by slowing down and steering clear of nesting, feeding, and shoreline refuge areas. Who's been out on the lake and seen the little cages that these guys put in the lake when they do the weeds? They bring good weeds out in the lake and they plant them so they can get them to spread. Who's seen those? Well, when you see those, stay away from them. They don't want you down in those weeds and stuff because they're trying to get that stuff to grow and produce out onto the lake. So when they get really good and it'll spread good weeds in the lake, they're not weeds, they're good vegetation. That's what it is. Clean your hulls and equipment. Remove plants and mud, drain water, and dry gear to prevent introducing invasive species. Avoid sensitive seasons. Steer clear of protective zones during breeding seasons, periods to help prevent biodiversity long term. Emergency preparedness and helping others. Who's ever been on a lake broke down? Well, when you break down on the lake, and you're in the middle of the lake, and all you got is a paddle, and it's a long way to your boathouse, or wherever you're going to put the boat out, you don't want to have to paddle all the way there. So if you see somebody sitting in the lake just hanging out, and if they give you a whistle or a blow and stand up and do like this, they probably need some assistance. They might have run out of gas, the boat might have broke down, especially this time of year when you first start putting your boat in the water, and just got serviced and everything. It might break down, and then you take it out, and you get stuck out in the middle of the lake. Got to call somebody. Just wave your hands, get somebody to come over and help you. Safety gear. Make sure you wear your safety gear. Equip your boat with life jackets, fire extinguisher, 12 years old. Fire extinguishers over 12 are no good. I don't care if it does say green label on the gauge. You look at it at the bottom, it'll tell you the date it was produced. If it's over 12 years old, got to replace it, right?
Correct.
First aid kit. How long can a first aid kit stay in a boat? If you bought a boat in 2020 and it's still got the first aid kit in it from 2020, you probably need to replace some of the stuff in your first aid kit or replace the first aid kit. Just make sure you have good medication and whatever you got in there. If you're cuts, bruises, bandages, whatever you need in there, make sure it's all still good. Make sure you can respond to the emergencies when you have that. Familiarize yourself and your crew with emergency procedures, including man overboard drills and evacuation plans. What if the driver of the boat is the only one who knows how to drive, he falls overboard? What's going to happen? If it's me, guess what's going to happen? Boom! Boat's going to quit. Because I got my little cutoff strap attached to my short britches leg. So when I go overboard, bloop, boat cuts off. Just like on a jet ski. Wristband cuts it off, jet ski stops it and go around in circles and run over you. So make sure you use that. Make sure you attach that to your clothes, your life vest, your breeches, whatever you want to do with it, if your boat's equipped with it. If not, you need to make sure you're careful then and make sure that somebody else on the boat needs to know how to shut it down if you were to fall overboard. And if you have a communication device, most times cell phones on this lake work pretty good. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But if not, if you have a communication radio, you can carry those with you too. Flares and signaling devices, whistles, we have those at the Lake Gaston Water Safety Council trailer. When we do festivals and stuff, we'll give out whistles, give out armbands, everything that you need to do that stuff with. Offering assistance to others, we just talked about that. Rendering aid is a core boating community responsibility and can be legal and duty, can be a legal duty in some waters. Quick, calm assistance can reduce response time and improve survival outcome. What to do first? Assess the hazard, keep your vehicle stable, call for help if you have a VHF radio or a phone, approach from the downwind side, down current. But why that? Because if you're up current, it's your boat's gonna run into their boat. If you come in from the down current side, it's gonna keep your boat and you and that boat's gonna drift away together. But if you try to come in from the upside, you're gonna run into them, or the wind's blowing. The wind up here blowing pretty good the other day. Keep people clear of lines, propellers, and prioritize life jackets and flotation devices. 13 and under, gotta have a vest on. Most time, if you're out fishing, you need to have a flotation device on. Because if you fall out of that boat, because them boats are kind of narrow and hot sitting in those chairs, you need one of those that pop up, and when you hit the water, it inflates. That's what kind you need. If you don't like that bulky one. That's good for you. We gave one of those to the fire department because they use it. It's good for them. Basic rescue training and practical gear make a difference. First aid kits, throwable devices, extra lines, and spotlights. Use simple coordinated action. Towing only if conditions and equipment allow. Who's ever towed a boat with another boat? You know how sometimes it's not very good, that boat behind you doesn't want to follow, or you're towing a jet ski and at times it wants to dive down or pull out or do all kinds of crazy stuff. You got to know what you're doing when you do it. You can't just hook to it and drag it. It's not like pulling a car down the highway. So you just got to be careful when you do it and have to know what you're doing with it. In conclusion, safety and respect, Lake Gaston Water Safety Council. Know the rules. You know the rules for the water. Share and protect. Share the lake with everybody. And be ready to help. If somebody needs help, you need to help them. Just get with them, find out what they need, help them. Make sure you exchange names and numbers so they can send you a thank you note. Because if I help somebody and they don't send me a thing, I don't care. It doesn't matter. They don't have to. But guess what? It would be nice. Every time somebody does something for the Lake Gaston Water Safety Council, we send, our Secretary Lynn sends them a nice thank you note. Thank you for supporting Lake Gaston Water Safety Council, whatever it is. So it's just being courteous, being polite, etiquette. Everybody in here was raised, mostly, hopefully, everybody was raised by great parents, like I was. And if you follow the rules that they gave you back then, your life will be a whole lot better, and everybody will like having you around, and the people that you're working with and people that you're associating with will enjoy being with you. So you'll have a whole lot more friends than you had before. Any questions for Papa Drew? Thank you.
No.
That's what I got.
Very good.
Well, two things we were working on for the courteous on the lake that Drew mentioned was we're getting these stickers made where people that are operating boats that it's not their boat, it's their dad's boat, and didn't go through that course. We have just little stickers that have like towing guidelines, and it has stay 200 foot away from everything, watch your music, keep eyes on tow people 100% of the time, and slow down and share the lake. It's just a little 2.5 by 1 inch sticker that people can put on their dash or the windshield just to remind people that are borrowing it. And another thing is we're trying to come up with a list of, they're not laws, they're not statutes, but it's community etiquette. And it's a list of things that we just expect around the lake and that we do, and we want people that visit it to know that this is what we expect. Hopefully you'll do it. And we'll give that to all the people that rent and stuff, and they can hang it on their dock so that when the renters are there, they can see that, you know, kind of wake them up to, it's not a free-for-all out there. You are supposed to have some guidelines.
Question for you, that for those of us who don't live on the lake, but may have boats and
Right.
no friends, have you thought about a contest or something? I'm not interested in giving people money, but just a contest that those of us who are not on the lake, that we can participate in helping create.
In that graphic design?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have to put that on Facebook.
And that's what I'm thinking, and it would give us, those of us who use the lake,
Right.
but aren't part of the association or not in this meeting, I think it would give us a way to say, hey,
Right.
we can get that word
That's
out
a
too.
good idea.
Yeah, I'd love to help participate.
Yeah, we'll have Ray put that on our website and also on our Facebook page, and that way when everybody looks at Lake Gaston Water Safety Council, they said, hey, if you have any good ideas, or if you have a graphic design experience, we're looking for somebody to design us a nice little sign or patch or something, so whatever we're looking for.
And since I came up here with my hand out, we would love to take whatever you put on your site and share.
Okay.
All
That'd be
over
great.
these other groups that don't normally talk
Sure,
to us, okay?
that'd be good. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Last year, we had that panel discussion about the courtesies on the lake, and I was involved with Smith Mountain Lake. I think I told you the story about
Yeah.
their experience and what they have done, and you know, trying to measure success, which is a difficult thing right there. But one of the key points they had, I like the sticker, and I like the messaging on the website, but they put big signs in very conspicuous places, such as boat docks, grocery stores, marinas, some of the boat dealers, that when you visit those places, I mean, it's big signage, and there's just like 3 or 4 different key points, which you were talking about, music and 200 feet. Is there any plan to do something like that, to just kind of throw it in people's face when they're doing something with their boat at a marina or a
Well,
boat dock?
that's something we could put at some local stores. Our grocery store won't allow us to put signs up, but, as far as the things on the side of the road, dang, they have to be quick hit. They can't be much more than 4 letters, I mean, 4 words, as people are going by. So that's what we're trying to come up with, is something that's quick hit. Now, we could maybe do towing guidelines, but then you're limited on what you put under there. Stay 200 foot from structures, and maybe we have to do multiple signs. And that's it for people going by.
I was gonna say, to this idea, could we put them at places like Washburn's Marina, East Ferry, Shady Shack, the gas stocks, at least,
Yeah.
where
Now,
You gotta get
usually
gas
what
on
we
the
try
lake.
to do is, we
you
get
know,
those
that 15,
places.
10, 15 minutes where they're
Yeah,
looking
sitting
at it,
there.
they're filling up.
Yeah, that would be good, and we also put them at boat ramps, because people have time, and
Yeah,
actually trying to target not the boater, but the person with them, because that boater is focused on getting his boat in, and the person sitting around waiting, they can read that. That's why we have the life jackets float, people don't signs right in the boat ramps, so that's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have it.
So,
It's written down.
so more and more we have establishments, businesses, excuse me, that are renting pontoons. And a lot of those folks, we know, they have little to no boating experience. Do we know where all these businesses are? And if we-
Not all of them,
do
but we
need
know
to-
the major ones, we know Stonehouse, and we know Adam, and we know Cactus Jack, and we know the major ones, so if we could get them to put those stickers on their dashboard, maybe that would be a major thing to get out there. And as far as the house rental places, a whole lot of them come out of just a few places, like Miss Story and places. They have tons, and that's where we get our literature handed out to the new people. And that's really what we're trying to do, is target visitors. And that's hard to do without going through the rental agencies. So that's our only contact with them. And I'd like to have all rental boats have those orange flags on the back, so I know that they're a rental boat. But Miss Stores, I can tell because she got that on the side.
Yeah, you know you gotta be extra cautious around them, because
I do, because they're looking backwards and looking up at the houses, and they're not.
like the student driver signs on cars.
Right,
Yeah.
that would be nice. I mean, not that I'm gonna target them or anything, but it alerts me so that I can give them right away.
Put a sign on there that says, patience,
Yeah.
boat renter,
Yeah.
instead of patience, new driver.
We're caution.
Yeah.
Caution boat.
Hypothetically speaking, has Virginia or North Carolina thought about making it a mandatory ruling that if you're going to be operating a PWC or a boat on a lake, within the state that you have to have a, Coast Guard safety course.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
had
they
to
thought
go-
about it, but because of money, they turned it down. Because
Okay.
that generates too much money, just people renting stuff.
You'd have a huge political battle.
Yeah,
on your
that's
hands.
been fought on.
Well, but the funny thing though is, that here, think of it, an analogy is that you have to have a driver's license.
Right,
And why can't, and that's to go on any road,
right.
whether it's a state or whatever, so why can't states think proactively?
Well, I wish they could combine, but see, it used to be that just to get a law done on your lake, you had to get every lake in the state to approve it. And because the law had to be a state law.
Yeah, no, I
But
understand.
now, Lake Norman has gotten some statutes passed just for their lake.
Yeah, they have a
That
marine,
really confuses things when you go from one lake to another. It's bad enough going from Virginia across the line to
yeah, the
North
Marine
Carolina.
Commission there has special
Howard.
statutory power that has been given to them from the state legislature.
Wow.
Yeah, you're talking about a political battle, that's a little bit out of our realm of discussion right now. We're talking about best practices that we can use to encourage voluntarily.
Yeah, I mean, we're better off than we were, 40
Yeah.
years ago,
And,
you know, your mom would just let you take the boat out, and you're 10 years old, you're going
Yeah,
down.
and I know that because Gaston is North Carolina and Virginia,
Right,
when I had to have, the boater's course, and you had to come in within the restriction of, if you're a certain age before this, you have to
Yeah,
have
that
it
was-
done, and all
yeah.
that other kind of stuff. And it's
Yeah,
just kind of really.
North Carolina, did that, in Virginia, everybody needs it, and they kind of phased that in, but, I don't know the answer, but it's a big battle, because when they were just starting voter laws, Pete had to go to,
Voter education,
Everywhere.
that was a huge battle.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So, again, our focus right now, and, I guess I will speak for the LGA at this point, we are going to cooperate and coordinate with the Water Safety Council to promote courtesy and safety on the water. And we're gonna start to get a little bit of traction. These guys got some great ideas, we shared some information now. I heard Graphic talk about coming up with a design. The sticker that you're currently utilizing, we need to,
I've got this. This is the size of the sticker, so it's not much to put on there, but let's see.
that's something you could put on the little dash there next to
On
the.
the dash, or
to
on the
the-
windscreen,
Mhm.
but it kind of looks like this, just to give you this is the blow up of it, but it's just a real quick thing, just so that somebody that's not their boat,
Mhm.
and even if it is your boat, to remind you. Because just last year, it was 5 minutes, somebody wasn't watching their tower and dumped people in front of my house. And instead of coming to the shore, they went out in the middle and almost got hit by 2 boats coming out of the pumps. But, and then when he came back, he was looking towards the shore like, where are they, where are they? I'm like, you idiot, they're out there at the buoy.
Mhm.
But, I mean, it's just,
It's education.
we don't, we don't have all the perfect answers, but our number one thing, I just wanna say, is still sober boating. A captain can't have one drink and go out and watch the sunset. That one drink is enough while you're out there drinking to slow you down a half a second from turning and seeing a jet ski that somebody's fell off of and it didn't cut off coming at you. I mean, we were a culture, you were talking about culture. We were a culture there for 2 years where the wildlife said they pull over a boat, have 6 or 8 people that couldn't even stand up on it, but the captain was sober. And that's fine. They let them go. Now we're starting to get drunk boaters again.
And captains.
And that is the most dangerous thing to property, persons, everything. And So we're really pushing on that.
So we're talking about a campaign essentially.
Yeah.
And we sort of need to come up with like a slogan. I heard
Right.
share the lake, you know, the Lake Gaston way, something that would
Yeah.
catch people. What is that? You know,
Right.
tell me. You know, if they're flying down the road, they're gonna see,
Something quick.
you know, something real quick, and then hopefully that'll pique their interest, desire, and then they'll see it, you know, at the docks, the launches, they'll see it at the marinas, they'll see it at Shady Shack, etc. And then,
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna cure everything. You've got people that, they've got 2 days out of the year to get out there and
have fun.
they're not thinking. I mean, so it's best to avoid them. I mean, that's all we do.
So this design you guys are talking about, you got some idea when you'd like to go ahead and,
What, as soon as we come up with something, Ray's working on the list. We've already got we have a new handout now. I don't know, Debbie's got our maps over there. If you need a map of the lake. But we're changing that map. We're taking off the communities and we're putting information on the bottom and on the back, all of our rules, boating rules, PWC rules, and towing rules will be on the back, so we'll have one all-in-one handout. And that's at the printer now, trying to get it prettied up. Because I kind of just cut and paste and stuck it together.
that's a great idea, because everybody, renters, whatever, they don't know the lake, they're gonna take, if nothing else, they're gonna take that.
It has it has
Literature,
a
I
place,
think.
you know, I don't know if y'all know, but the Water Safety Council offers loaner life jackets all around the lake at different marinas. So if you have a child that outgrew theirs and they're just gonna be here for the weekend, you can borrow it. It has those locations on it. It has boat sober, and then it has the emergency phone numbers on the front where the communities used to be.
That's a great idea, yeah. So let us, hope, you know, when you guys get that into
We'll give
publication.
you some to hand out during your.
Yeah, we'll all,
I think we're gonna get, once
Get
we
them
get
out.
it done, we'll get 3,000 printed first.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I make a suggestion? I know we did a lot of groundwork last year, and it was specifically with wakeboard and wake surfing courtesy on the lake. And like I told, some of you are aware, we did this work through the Tri-County Lake Commission, the Smith Mountain Lake, Christina Sage. And they've been doing this for, it's probably 3 years now. And the expectation, when I contacted and got information, turned it over to LGA. The expectation was there'd be a continuing dialogue, because they have had experience with, they first went, they was the first to try to legislate no wake boarding, no wake surfing areas. That was just caused a lot of outcry with boat enthusiasts. So they went the education route. Yeah, but the expectation was there would be a continuing dialogue between us and them. Has any of that occurred? I think
No.
the lessons learned from them would be
Yeah.
very valuable, and I would recommend, I can give you contact information.
Okay. And that's the same thing we run into. You get homeowners, it'd be 20 homeowners want a no-wake thing, and they go to the county, and 50 people show up against it.
Right.
And so, you know, the county's hands are tied.
that's a good point, Richard. I mean, for us to hopefully use some of the learnings that Smith Mountain Lake has had in their campaign and see what's worked for them and what hasn't, and use that to build on. Yeah, absolutely. Any more questions for Drew? Thank you, Drew.
Thank you.